Hi guys, it's Matthew here. Welcome back to another video on my channel today. Today in this episode, guys, Happy New Year's Eve, as a matter of fact, guys. So since it is the last day of the year, it is time to talk about the top 10 best movies of the year. Just yesterday I did my top 10 worst movies of the year, so now it's time to talk about the top 10 best movies of the year. But for the honorable mentions video that I did, guys, I messed that up a little bit. So Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is number 11 for my honorable mention, and since Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was at the bottom, that is number 26. Just to let you guys all know that, as a matter of fact, that Ghostbusters is now the one that just missed the top 10. Just to let you guys all know, as a matter of fact. But so yeah, guys, let me know down in the comment section what was your favorite movie of 2024, as a matter of fact. And be sure you hit that red subscribe button, but most importantly, make sure you press the notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. And those of you guys that are new to the channel, I do more than just movies and physical media related content. I also do LEGO related stuff, and I play video games. I do all sorts of stuff like that here on the channel. So if you guys like to watch anything like that on YouTube, want to show your love and support, be sure to go check out my channel and give this video a big huge thumbs up, as a matter of fact. But with that said though, guys, enjoy the video. Let's get started at the number 10 spot. So now, coming in at number 10, I have Red One, as a matter of fact. This is a movie that actually got a bunch of mixed reviews, but personally, I enjoyed this movie. I thought this movie was funny, and I mean, I thought this movie was hilarious. And it's a dumb fun action movie, those are the kinds of movies that I particularly like a lot. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie for what it delivered, and I watched it 3 times this holiday season, and the first time I walked out of the theater, it already became one of my favorite Christmas movies already, and so that is why it's on this list, because I highly enjoyed it, and it's already by far one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. Coming in at number 9, I have Moana 2. So now, I am a huge fan of Moana. I was a big fan of the first one. I liked everything about the first Moana except for the Shiny song. That is the only nitpick I had about that movie. But yes, I was a huge fan of Moana 2 because this was a great sequel done by Disney, in my personal opinion. And I really enjoyed what they did here. Like, I was hoping for a Moana 2, as a matter of fact, and they finally did it. But not only did we recently get a Moana 2, we also have a live action Moana in the works, and I'm anxious to see that one. And I think that's going to be a good movie, because The Rock is even going to play Maui in that movie, as a matter of fact. And yes, I really liked this movie, and this movie is at the possibility of reaching $1 billion. And I hope it does. I have my fingers crossed, as a matter of fact. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Inside Out 2. I loved this movie. In my personal opinion, I actually thought that this movie was a little bit better than the first one. The first one was still a great Pixar movie, but this movie in particular, I liked a touch better than the first one, because I feel like you get more emotional with this movie. Like, we see Riley all grown up, and we see these new emotions, as a matter of fact, which I really liked, as a matter of fact. And yes, this movie is will make you cry. It will make you cry happy tears. And and yes, this movie was funny. It was actually just as funny as the first one, but I felt like it was a touch better than the first one because we actually get to see Riley develop more, and then we get introduced to all these new emotions. I know those are supposed to be new characters, but still, those new those new emotions were part of her developing, as a matter of fact. And so yeah, that's why I really enjoyed this movie, and I really hope we get a third Inside Out about her going to high school or her becoming an adult. Up next at number 7, I have Despicable Me 4. Okay. Now this is probably not a movie that a lot of you guys would agree with, but personally, I really enjoyed Despicable Me 4. This was actually another one that I got to see 3 times in the theater. I even got to see Inside Out 2 3 times in the theater. But I really enjoyed Despicable Me 4, and to be honest, in my personal opinion, this was the best Despicable Me movie since the second one. And I don't know how many of you guys would agree with that, but I grew up watching the Despicable Me movies, as a matter of fact. All these movies were from my era, as a matter of fact. And I really enjoyed Despicable Me 4. I actually thought it was funny, and I liked how all the gags were mashed together. This is a nice family comedy. The Minions are a big hit, as a matter of fact. I was kind of hoping that this movie would make $1 billion just because the third Despicable Me did, but it didn't end up doing it. It came in just shy of $1 billion because it made $800 million at the box office. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I had a good time with it. It was really fun. And honestly, I would not be shocked if they do a Despicable Me 5. Because to be honest, I don't mind the Despicable Me movies, and I wouldn't mind seeing another one of any sort. Up next at number 6, this is definitely going to be in a lot of people's top 10 somewhere. And at number 6, I have Deadpool and Wolverine, as a matter of fact. I wanted to put this one up a little higher, but there was some other movies that I had to put before this one. But yes, Deadpool and Wolverine. It's the highest grossing R-rated movie ever. What else is there to say? This is a movie that was definitely made for the Marvel fans. This movie was hilarious. I was laughing from beginning to end. We have Ryan Reynolds reprising the role as Deadpool, and we even have Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. I really enjoyed this movie, and we even get introduced to Dogpool in this movie. Dogpool was so cute. I actually do not think that dog was ugly at all. I really liked Dogpool, as a matter of fact. I really liked Deadpool and Wolverine. It was so funny, and I even got this movie for Christmas. And yes, I am hands down. I want to watch this movie again. I also got to see this movie 3 times in the theater. And yes, this movie was an absolute blast. and I do want to rewatch this movie. Coming in at number 7, this was one that I haven't seen theaters, but I had to put it on this list. So at number 5, I have Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga. So now, I actually watched all the Mad Max movies for my first time this year, and I actually enjoyed these movies, and I even enjoyed this whole prequel to Fury Roads. I thought the whole origin story around Furiosa was really cool. I actually think Chris Hemsworth's performance as this movie, as the villain, he plays a great villain, and Anna Taylor-Joy's performance in this movie is really good as well. And yes, this is one that I haven't got around to rewatching, but I want to rewatch this movie because I had a blast with this movie. At number 4, I have Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. So now, out of the MonsterVerse movies that we've gotten so far, this one is by far my favorite out of all of them, because I like how we get to see Godzilla and Kong working together at the end to defeating the bad guy. I don't remember his name right offhand, but yes. And most importantly, Mothra came back. They killed her off. King Ghidorah got her in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and then I just knew she would come back eventually. I was so happy they brought her back. And what I really liked in this movie is how Kong became the new empire, how they set up like a new chapter in the next movie in this MonsterVerse that they got going on right now. And yes, this is a great movie, and yes, a lot of people did not enjoy this like I did, but personally I enjoyed it enough to put this one in my top 10. Coming in at number 3, this one was actually in my second place pick for a while, but then another movie came along and I had to put that one in second place. But at number 3, I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. What a fantastic new fresh start to the whole modern era of Planet of the Apes. I really enjoyed this movie. I like our new main lead, Noah. I like how they followed up from War for the Planet of the Apes, and they paid tribute to Caesar a little bit. Well, some characters did, some didn't, but yeah, I really liked this movie. I like how it's set in like this new group of apes that in this movie is set 300 years after War for the Planet of the Apes. And I liked how they came up with a new story, and I really liked the direction that they took this movie in. And yes, I enjoyed this movie, and honestly, I cannot wait for the second movie, as a matter of fact, because I really enjoyed this movie, and I am waiting for the next movie. And as of right now, the next Planet of the Apes movie is set to come out in 2027. At number 2, my runner-up. What is my runner-up? And my runner-up is Wicked. this was a fantastic movie. This was another solid Wizard of Oz story, as a matter of fact. And I thought this movie was visually stunning. I even thought Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was visually stunning. But Wicked was also visually stunning. The costume designs were really good. I like all the set pieces for this movie. This was just a gorgeous film, as a matter of fact, and I cannot wait to see this movie continue with Wicked for Good. As a matter of fact, that's the name of the sequel for Wicked Part 2. But let me tell you something, guys. I am a huge fan of The Wizard of Oz. That one's actually in like my top 30 favorite movies of all time. I am a huge fan of The Wizard of Oz. And they've done remakes of this movie, and they even done like so many other stories evolving around Oz. Like, they even did a couple of sequel adaptations that weren't like theatrical sequels, like Return to Oz. I thought that movie was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as The Wizard of Oz, in my opinion. And in the last decade, they actually did an animated sequel adaptation called Legends of Oz: Dorothy's Return, and that one I didn't think was too bad either. But again, that one was nowhere near as good as like the original Wizard of Oz. And I'm not exactly sure if they ever tried to do a prequel of some sort to the Wizard of Oz, but yeah, I just know that they've done a lot of remakes, they've done a lot of sequel adaptations, and a lot of individual stories surrounding by Oz. And personally, none of them were as good as The Wizard of Oz from 1938. And out of every Wizard of Oz story adaptation or story that they did surrounding Oz, in my personal opinion, Wicked did it the best. Because this actually feels like a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. It's not like a direct prequel or it's not like a direct. It might not be like a direct prequel or a theatrical prequel to The Wizard of Oz, but out of every Wizard of Oz story, this one is the one that I felt like was close and felt like it was connected to the original Wizard of Oz. That is just my opinion. And yes, I was a huge fan of this movie. I will definitely try to pick this movie up on physical. I'm hoping to get the Steelbook, but yes, I will. Definitely, Wicked for Good is going to be on my most anticipated movies of 2025 because we are getting it next year in November. And yes, I was a huge fan of this movie. But coming in at number 1, my favorite movie of the year, it shouldn't be any surprise, it is Dune Part 2. I was a huge fan of the first Dune, and this second movie was better than Dune Part 1. And this is another case scenario where I can't wait to see these movies continue. We have Dune: The Messiah coming out in 2026. And I was a huge fan of this movie, as a matter of fact. I was a huge fan of this movie. It had great storytelling. The dialogue in this movie was very well developed. They even brought all the original cast back for this second part, as a matter of fact, and I'm glad they did, because this was a great movie, and it probably would not be great with without the cast. But more importantly, this movie would not be as good if without Dune Part 1, as a matter of fact. But yes, Dune is a great movie. I do want to rewatch the both of these movies at some point back to back, and it is my number one favorite movie of the year, as a matter of fact, and that was no shock to anybody. So there you have it, guys. There is my top 10 favorite movies of those are my picks for the top 10 best movies of 2024. Let me know down in the comment section, guys, what do you think is the best movie of 2024? And make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow, because I will be giving you guys my most anticipated movies of 2025, so be sure you be on the lookout for that video, as a matter of fact. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to do my full outro, so I just want to wish you guys a happy new year. Stay safe, drink water, and take care, and I will see you all in the very next video. Bye! Happy New Year's!